Can you believe that it's been 30 years? I know that we've been together longer.
Well, 30 years married
30 years married.
and 42 years, right?
42 years. I think it's 42 years
42 years together.
together.
How do we do this? The people want to know.
The people want to know. We are, this year in 2024, we are celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary. And what do we have planned special for that? We are actually going on a cruise in a few weeks to celebrate our anniversary, to celebrate our church anniversary, and I'll be celebrating my birthday on that same event. You had said people often wonder what took us so long to get married.
Yeah, a lot of times I talk to somebody and they say, you know what? I've been together for you, been married 30, well, what took you so long? 12 years to get married? And I had to tell them, well, you know, at the time, had a steady job and I was fighting, traveling, and it wasn't really steady, so I always knew I wanted to marry
You.
you. Yeah. But it was like you wanted a big wedding and everything, and I wanted everything to be right too. But 1 year, 2 years, and then nothing just kept going. So one day I came home. I think my wife said, "Look, I found a place. I know the place to go get your tuck. We're going to get married. I'm sick of this."
I said to him, I said, I have my wedding dress. In fact, I think my mother bought my wedding dress. And when I told you that, he was like, "You got the dress?" You know, you got all excited about that. But I remember you having apprehensions about the place. Remember, you was like, "Oh, we were gonna get married at." And I was working. Who was I working with? I was working with Clover at the time, division of Strawbridge and Clover, and we used to have these meetings at this place called Rosewood Caters. And it was so nice that I think I asked somebody, "Do they have weddings here? Do they do weddings?" And they said they did. So I had set up an appointment to see the place, and I kept telling Brian, he's like, "Oh, I don't know, it ain't gonna be right. It ain't gonna be right." And when I took you to the place, do you remember what you said?
After we went inside,
Uh-huh.
I was like, top of the line.
Top of the line. I think back, we met, I always laugh and say we met across a crowded shoe store. Because we met in the Wild Fair. Um, and you were in there, it was around your birthday time, and you were trying to find a pair of shoes. And I was in there with my cousin Anita. And
I heard her call your name.
you heard her call my
So
name.
that was my cue, because I thought you was cute.
Right.
So I heard her say, Alberta. So when you came around the clothes out, I was like, Alberta. And you was like, man, man. I was like, Alberta.
And what was funny for me is, as a young girl, you always think about, meeting the guy that's going to be, that guy or somebody that you'll marry. And I think when I went with Anita that time, I really didn't have a thought of trying to find anybody. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend or anything. I think I was just spending the summer with Anita, and that was the furthest thing from my mind. But when I sat down on that bench and you had called my name and I happened to turn around and see you, I was just like, oh my God, the fact that you would be talking to me, and we're 6 years apart. And I was a little young girl, and I have a nice older guy looking so handsome looking at me. That was just, it just really was everything to me. I picked up on your character right away. Like I knew that you had a good heart. I knew that you liked to laugh, and those were some of the things that I remember from my father. My father loved to laugh. And so seeing that in you was something that I liked. We could laugh and joke, and just really have a good time. Sometimes doing nothing. We wouldn't really go a whole lot of places when we first was dating.
No,
We didn't take a lot of trips and all. We just spent a lot of time together, just being together.
Food and eat.
And
I remember when you first started, I'd be like, you want to go get something? Well, no.
I don't know what that, but I was too shy.
Then we was together a little longer, you'd be like, I guess okay, well, we'll go get something. And then after we was together for a little while longer, you was like, let's go get something to eat.
Brian, get me something to eat. In the beginning, I was, too shy to be eating in front of you and all. After I got comfortable, it was like, it's time to eat. But I met your family, and I knew that you had come from good stock. I really liked your family right from the beginning. You remember when I first met your mom, we went in the kitchen, and you being her baby and her baby boy, I don't know if she felt how mothers feel a little threatened. Who is this girl coming taking my son away? And we were in the kitchen having conversation, and she seemed to like me pretty much, but she took a brush out of
I think that's after we had been together for a little while.
Well, this was the first time I had met your mom.
Oh, okay.
And we were in the kitchen, and she pulled out a brush or a comb or something, and she started brushing your hair.
Yeah, when I had it.
Yeah, you had your hair there. And that, to me, even though I was young, that was my signal that said, this is my son, be careful with him. This is my son. And I knew that even though I was, a younger, I picked up on that signal. But I liked your family. I liked your sisters and your dad, and I knew you had come from good stock. So that was another reason. And I think the way that you treated me really caused me to love you early on. Like, you were very conscious. I don't know if you remember, you were very conscious of me if we were walking down the street, making sure you were on the outer side. You were conscious of asking me what I wanted and do you like this, and if I was comfortable. I don't know if you remember that, but you always made sure that I was comfortable wherever we were at. Are you okay? You guys, is this all right?
Well, I remember you was, I always liked you because you was cute and you had a nice personality. But I think what stuck out was your love that you had for God at that time as a young girl. And I think that's what kind of attracted me at first. I mean, that you wasn't just out there, you had something in you. And I think that's kind of what really kind of made me fall in love with you, because I had met girls just out there, they nice girls or whatever, but I don't think I never met a girl that had like just that love for God as a young girl. That's kind of what really turned me on about you. You know what I mean?
And see, now you're gonna make me start crying. Because I guess for me, even now, it's like, I always used to say to myself, because I grew up in a church. I got saved as a very young girl. I think I was 12 or 13 when I gave my life to the Lord. And the one, I know, but the one thing, I know, the one thing that I used to always say to God, we're supposed to witness and tell others about God. And I used to say, Lord, have I ever witness to anybody? Have I ever said anything that makes
tissue?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I had asked God, did I ever, witness to anybody or say anything, which was a testament to my belief in my faith. And it wasn't until many years later, and I had said that to you, I said, I feel like I don't know if anybody, if I witnessed to anybody or I said anything, as a witness for God. And you said, Bert, if you never, did that for anybody else, you did that for me, and that really just touched my heart. And and I said, I thank God for that. But that also let me know that, that you love me and that, you're there for me.
Before I met you, I was going through just different things for us with my life at my age. In the streets, meeting different girls, having trouble with relationships. So I kind of I prayed to God to find a good woman.
And you said you were in the bathroom.
I was in the bathroom. I prayed to God for a good woman. I said, you know, going through different changes and this and that and the other. I need me a good woman because I need me a wife. And I prayed to God for a wife. And right after that,
I walked in the shoe store. And what the
that's
Bible
a
says,
true story.
he who finds a wife.
That's a true story, you know.
I don't think you never told me that until probably in the last year or something. As long as we've been together, you had never told me that. And I think when you told me that, I probably cried again then. But you never told me that.
I think I prayed for a wife. I wanted a woman that I could be with for the rest of my life.
Wow. You know. And I mean, the Lord always knew my heart. I always, from a little girl, and I don't know if it's because, see, you came from a family. You had your mom and your dad for many years, and you know, I had my mom and my dad when I was little, but they were separated, and I didn't have that family unit, you know, like you had. And I always longed for that. So I think when we came together and we had our children, that's why family was so very important to me, because as a little girl, oh, I longed so much for my parents to get back together. I just wanted that family unit. I thank God for my aunt who raised me and my sisters. She was instrumental in bringing us up in a Christian home where we came to know God for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, not just because she was a Christian, but we came to know God for ourselves. But I always, and I think my sisters in some way did too, I always longed for that family unit. And so when we came together, it was so important for me that our children knew they were loved and that we were together and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you told me that story, and that you know, that really threw me for a loop, that you had prayed for me. And you know, I walked in that store, and here we are so many years later, and we just kind of gelled once we met. And I told you recently, I don't know, I might have told you before, I said the world when I met you kind of stopped for me. You know, I was still young, and I used to, you know, back then the kids now they can't play outside, but we would be outside, you know, hanging out, the girls on the block playing, and my sister would yell down the street, "Alberta, I'm crying on the phone." And I look at them, "I see y'all later." And I went, you know, taking off in the house, and just you coming down. You know, you were young, but you had your car, and you were still fighting, and you would fight and get your payday.
I was coming to see you one time. I remember my tire came off the expressway. I spun around the expressway. And
Rushing
two
to
cars
see
had
me.
an accident behind me. And I was like, and a big tow truck threw his light on
That's
while I was
big.
in the middle of the expressway.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped out and ran to the side. I said, "Man, what,
Nothing but
God."
God. And
I was on my way to
he
see you.
was with us. Because a lot of times, even though, you know, we might not have been doing everything right, I was always praying. When we would go, you know, if we was getting gas somewhere, or we would be in a neighborhood that, you know, you didn't know what was going on, I was always in the car praying, "Lord, don't let nothing happen to him while he getting his gas, or while he in that store getting us something, he don't let nothing happen." You know, I was always praying. And, you know, he kept us through it. It's not like in all these years we never had any problems, because we were both young,
Yeah.
kind of growing up. I think when I first became a mother, you know, every mother wants to start off being right, and I think I was trying to do all of the right things, but I'm sure I made some wrong steps because I was young, you know. And
I
but
think too. I think after we met each other and started gelling, and I think we realized we had a couple things in common when we started singing together a little bit. You know, all that kind of stuff blended us together.
together you were strong, because I think when we first met, I didn't know that you liked to sing. I knew I liked to sing, and I used to be just, you know, doing my little yin yang in my house, and come to find out you would be at your house singing.
Yeah.
And I think, and when we first, you showed me that you could sing, and I was a little shy to show you that I could sing. And then some kind of way, as time went on,
Yeah.
I showed you that I could sing too. And then we started singing, and then years after that, getting the
We
kids.
put the kids, got the kids.
Got the kids
involved,
in.
got them
You
singing.
became Joe Jackson.
Yeah, I was like Joe Jackson, the kids. And then we got Nay in there.
Janae. And it's funny because with Janae, Janae didn't. She seemed like she was the one that didn't want to rehearse. And they're like Alan Iverson, you rehearsal. What are we rehearsing for? She didn't want to do.
Yeah,
Well, what would he say? He used to say practice, but she didn't want to practice. And it turned out to be the one that seemed like she liked singing the most.
Yeah, come up with when we was singing in church. I used to lead something.
Used to lead, and then after she started, then she started
She
leading.
started paying the leader.
Took over your spot.
Took over my spot.
Took your spot.
We had, I think I put guys with it. We had, still having it.
Still having
We
it,
had,
right.
still having it.
So what keeps us together, like you had said one time, we were out at a show or something, and somebody said, well, how did y'all stay together so long? And you said, that it, by the grace of God, which is the truth,
You got to have God in your relationship to keep it strong.
He's that glue. Yeah, because when you go through problems or trials, and if you don't have God, it's easy to give up. It's easy to say, you know what, I had enough of this, I had enough of you, and I'm just walking out the door. Because even though it's supposed to be till death do you part, many people don't last, And it's having God in our lives that, we can turn to Him if, say we don't understand something or we have a problem that we can't solve, we can turn to Him, and then He's the one that helps us to keep it together.
Find our way.
To find our way. Because life is hard. Life is hard. And just because you get married, and you have that person, it's still a struggle.
You struggle with life, whether you're married or not, it's always a struggle.
Always a struggle.
And like you say, that glue is God. Keeps you strong when you at your weakest moment.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is just having some things in common. Like we said, we like to sing. And then somebody said this one time, we do everything together, and we really do. We do the shopping together. Now, we don't do laundry together. You do the laundry. I can't stand laundry. And then housework and stuff, I pretty much try to do that. You help every now and again, but that's kind of my thing. So we have that, and then like with, we decide who does better at one thing.
I mean, because people be thinking they're like, man, the woman should do this, a man should do that, but it ain't like
that. It ain't like that.
It's it's whatever
you
makes y'all good at with each other,
Right. And we both cook, sometimes, so it ain't like, if I feel like that you cook.
To somebody, you do the laundry around the house, so she wearing the pants, but yeah, you can. I remember you fix things, you mechanically inclined me.
Well, and I get that kind of from my dad. Like, I'm the one that's quicker to pick up a paintbrush and brush and do all that kind of stuff. But you do, I leave all the car stuff to you, and so we make it work, And then we learned early on. Some people, they break up because of finances and money. We learned early on, because I think at one time we used to have a joint account and just everything went in there. And we realized, no, you need your account, I need my account, and then we need that joint account, and that works for us. So we have that account where we, get our bills and all paid from. But you have yours and I have mine. And that's the other thing in marriage. Even though we are as one, there's sometimes when you have to have that and you have to have that individuality. You need to go out with your friends or your cousin every now and again. I need to go out with my sister or friends every now and again, and then we come back, and that's what kind of that space. Like on that video, remember we did the video, and you said, like, what did you say? I gotta get some air sometime.
Oh, Sanity video.
Yeah. What did you say?
No, I said.
Can't be cooped up all the time.
Yeah, I said, what I said?
Whatever you said, I said that was real.
That'll make you go crazy. Stay in the house all the time.
All the time. I got to have some hair.
I had a light voice because I was supposed to be upset.
Upset.
I ain't got to say. I can't be staying in the house.
all the time. But I said that was real. So you played that part really good because that's one of the things you would always say, and that's the truth. So for couples coming up, they have to realize, there's you're still an individual. Yeah, you're one, but you're still an individual. You got to have your own mind.
Yeah.
One of the things that I like that you've always said, way on Jonathan, you always would say, right is right and wrong is wrong. And you held me to that. You didn't just, if I'm wrong, you don't try to just say, oh yeah, Bert, you right. No, you'll say right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's what we need. I need you to be honest with me, and I'm honest with you, and that's what keeps us going as well. Some people will. I've seen people do that. Well, my wife likes this, so I just tell her such and such a thing. I just make her believe. And we, for the most part, if something ain't right, you might tell me, Bert, no, I don't like that. Or, and even sometimes I be wanting you to say, oh, Brian, this look nice on you. I know. Well, maybe let me see what the other thing looks like. Um, the honesty that we have. And even when, like, say we might do something that hurts each other. I might hurt your feelings about something, you might hurt mine. The fact that we always talk,
Yeah.
and try to be open and honest as we can about it, I think gets us through
Yeah.
the hard time. Because somebody might say, oh yeah, they've been married, oh they everything is peachy cream, and it hasn't been for us.
No.
I mean, we've had arguments and ups and downs, especially when we were younger, because you were still trying to hang with the guys, and I was there trying to take care of the kids, and sometimes I would be upset. And maybe my upset was that I couldn't go out and have that same freedom. I don't know. When you're the wife and the mother, it always seems like the kids are left.
And I still had I'm still young and still
Yeah.
had the street in me, wanted to be out.
Yeah.
I wanted to be out more. But when you get older,
You get more settled.
you get more settled. You get settled and tired. You don't want to have to go to work and then go out.
My man say sick and tired.
Yeah, you get settled. You get more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's setting your ways.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah. You sit down, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been, in all honesty, it's been a good journey for us. It's been a great journey for us. I think now that they're older and the kids are grown now, we've been having a chance to get out.
Right.
We went to Jamaica. We going on the cruise. We went on a cruise some years ago with our neighbors down the street, and just time to enjoy. So, and even now, like, we'll take a afternoon or a weekend and just get out. Just go somewhere, go get something to eat, and just be out. We'll shop, even though you don't like shopping. I'd say you are the one that will go in the store, and before we could look for something, you over there, excuse me, where's this? You never like, Brian, just look. You want to get in and get out. Don't like
I know
no
what I
shop.
want to go do. If I go to the store, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get that, and I'm coming out. I ain't gonna go through, checking through. And I got a cousin that do that. He can shop like that. He can look through clothes.
Yeah.
I don't have the face.
No. But even when we do shopping at the supermarket, you get mad at me because I'm over there, I'm reading the can and trying to figure out what's in it and if I like this, and you'll look down the aisle, but would you come on?
That's why sometimes I just like to go shop
By
myself.
yourself.
I get what we need. Keep it going.
We were talking early this morning, and I said, after 30 years, what did we learn? Being with somebody so long, you realize that you're one person. Sometimes we can finish each other's sentences, or I might be thinking something, and I said, I was thinking, you say, Bert, I was thinking the same thing. And it's a wonderful thing to spend your life with someone and to see them transition from what they were when you first met them into who they have become years later. Not that we're not the same person, but you grow and you evolve, your thoughts and stuff change. You learn to love and appreciate the person that you're with many years later. And having your wife or your husband, you realize that you have someone you can lean on and someone you can trust when the world outside gets heavy, which it often does. You know, I'm always running to you with something happened at work. I'm running to you. You know, something happened. You know, just in passing, I'm running to you. You know, and there is a saying now that you hear people say, you know, this she's my person, or he's my person. And I was saying to you, you know, when you have a spouse that you love, that you trust, that is your person. You know,
you almost two people together
as one. Yeah.
If I see you upset or hurt, it
Right.
hurts me.
Right.
You know, it almost hurts me just as much as it's hurting you.
Like when I cried a few minutes ago, you were getting ready to start
I wasn't crying.
You were getting ready to start crying. Tell the people. Tell
I
them.
wasn't not crying.
Didn't you cry at our
I
wedding?
got allergies.
Didn't you cry at our wedding? Did you cry?
No, you started crying.
Oh, okay.
I just started wiping your tears.
Yeah,
Then my allergies started.
Your allergies started acting up. Okay. Okay. But no, but that too, when we talk about, you know, what makes me know that I love you, to know that you love me so much, you feel what I feel.
Yeah.
And you know, when I'm hurting, you're hurt. You know, from a young age, I came into a man who always treated me right, who loved me, you know, and still loves me many years later. I've had, you know, several children, and you still love me, you know, and so I'm grateful for that. And so going forward, you know, however long time that God gives us, you know, I expect our journey to just get better and better with time. And I wanted to say this before we go. Your mother and father, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, I can't remember, were an example for us because they were married for how long? It's got to be about 60 something years.
Well, because I think they got married young.
They got married young.
And you figure my mom, they got married. My mom was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
And she died at 85.
Yeah.
So you figure, well, my dad lived, my dad lived till she was 80.
Not long before she passed, right?
So
Got to be over 60 something years.
So from 25, from the age of 25 to 83,
Mm-hmm.
you figure, what's that, like 60 something years?
Yeah, 60 something years. Because remember, some years prior to that, the kids were still little and they had their 50th wedding, which was their gold wedding anniversary. So it had to be 60 something years.
60 something.
And there was such, what I remember being an outsider coming into your family, that there was such a love and respect between the two of them. And life didn't go always right for them.
No,
They
been
had
through a lot.
been through a lot, had their ups and downs, you know, just arguments, fights. But they hung in there and they took care of their family, you know. And so that was our example. And we hope that we can be an example to our children and to others, other young married couples that are coming up, that it is a journey. It's not going to be easy. And if you're the type that as soon as something goes wrong, you're ready to jump ship, then marriage is not for you, because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. Sometimes you have to deny yourself for the other person. You have to feel what they feel. You have to sympathize with them and, you know, really work at it, you know. And I'm so grateful that you've been the person that I've been working at this with for many years. In fact, I can't even imagine who will put up with me this long. No, I can't imagine anybody else in my life this long. You know, you really have been just a wonderful husband to me, a wonderful father to your children. And I mean, I haven't always done everything right.
Well,
but
none of us.
yeah, but you know, it.
Don't start crying.
I'm not starting crying. But you know, it's been a great journey. As
Yeah.
you said, it's been a great journey, and I look forward to everything else that God has for us. In fact, I'm praying that God keeps you a long time. What was it that you said to your guys at the wedding? You said, I hope I live
I live forever and they never die.
and they never die. So I'm hoping you live forever and I never die.
Through it all, we've been together all these years. It's our 35th anniversary, so we can say this to each other. Happy 35th year.
Happy 35th birthday. I love you.
Say what you wanna say to me